ambition of this tiny desert peninsula. Qatar is the world's largest supplier of liquefied natural gas, LNG, and is now the wealthiest nation per capita on Earth. Amidst a global economic crisis, this remains a land of multi-billion-dollar construction projects. An army of workers imported from the east dwarf the local population 5 to 1. And if many people struggled to pinpoint Doha on the map, that all changed when FIFA awarded Qatar the 2022 World Cup. Qatar! The Emir, Sheikh Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani, and his wife, Sheikha Mosa, grasped another milestone in their country's evolution. Inside the city's landmark Museum of Islamic Art, I met the Emir's daughter, Her Excellency Sheikha Mayasa.
15 years ago, Qatar was in complete debt. We were in a very bad financial situation, and today we're one of the richest nations. So in order to channel these resources efficiently and effectively, the government has drawn out a 20-year plan in order to manage the growth and ensure that the future generations have what they need. I would say we're an emerging nation. We will have lots to offer when the World Cup comes in 2022.
When the fans arrive in Doha for the World Cup, they will do so through a new international airport set to be completed this year. The World Cup final will take place in Lusail City, an extension of Doha City to the north, the future home of 200,000 people. And the core of the historic city centre will be rebuilt. In the next 5 years alone, $125 billion will fund nearly 200 projects. One of the best ways to see Doha's growth and appreciate the size and scale is from the sea, preferably on a luxury yacht. When do you expect all construction to be completed?
Our anticipation by end 2015 it will be substantial.
Khalil Sholi is talking about the Pearl Islands. He's the managing director of the company building this Riviera-style development on a vast man-made island. So to somebody who says, well, Dubai's got the Palm and the world's being built and there's the Pearl, what's the difference between here and the others? Or are you all playing a sort of a, I've got my islands too?
I don't, in Qatar they don't play it this way. I believe that the Pearl Island is complementary to the development that we see in Dubai. Very much complementary because both attract traffic and attract foreign investment. But if you want to strike a comparison, I would compare between Cannes and Monte Carlo. And of course, Qatar being Monte Carlo. That's my comparison.
Qatar is spending big to pave the desert with an unshakable faith in its destiny, building for a population that doesn't yet exist in one of the most arid regions on Earth. The aim is for sustainable growth. How much of it is driven by this idea that hydrocarbons and carbons won't last forever, but they are your gift to be able to build for the next century and beyond?
Well, it definitely is our gift, because if it wasn't for the natural resources that we have, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing today. But that doesn't mean to sit and say, okay, we've achieved it all. No, we have to think 20, 30 years from now, what happens when there's no carbon and no natural resources? What do we do? So this is why we're investing in research and science, and education.
Ah, you've caught me doing a bit of shopping in the souk and soaking up the culture. When we come back in a moment, how investment in culture and education are some of the pillars for Doha's future.
We believe that places aren't just for today. They're for generations to come. They inspire people. They inspire life. believe that places should be true to their culture, preserving heritage while laying the foundations for tomorrow's history. We see every place through the eyes of people, respecting the environment and working with it to create places that last forever. Solidaire, places for life.
The message is bright. It's yellow, loud and clear across Doha. In Qatar's capital city, the country's ruling elite have spent great treasure on the creation of a knowledge-rich society.
What Qatar Foundation is doing, led by Her Highness Sheikh Hamoza, my mother, is very important for the future generations, which is moving away from carbon resources and investing in knowledge-based societies. You know, I don't know how many countries today, considering our GDP, has 2.8% of their GDP towards research. And it's research in health and education and science and innovation, and so I think it's a very exciting time.
Much of this excitement is to the west of Doha, where the city meets the desert. Just a third completed, this is the Qatar Science and Technology Park, designed as a cradle of innovation and development. The likes of Microsoft, General Electric, Cisco, Rolls-Royce, Chevron and Shell have already moved in. At the park's robotic surgery center, it is local Qataris learning and honing their cutting edge.
Today, the country relies almost entirely on its wealth from oil and gas. And the recognition is that's fine while it lasts, but in the future we need to make sure that we have in place enough local people who are talented and who are committed to this country and who can create new industries of the future.
Adjacent to this science park is Education City. In line with the rest of the capital, stellar architects have left their mark on the campus. It's a Middle Eastern base for 8 international universities.
Look at Europe 200, 300 years ago, trying to replicate the big example in Versailles in their own small palaces, trying to replicate the Italian Renaissance, just trying to be slightly better than their neighboring chief or king. So this competition with royal patronage of the arts, of the sciences, of collecting, that is very much replicated here. And I think in Europe it proved an extremely successful model.
Mohammed Kamal is a business student at Carnegie Mellon's Doha outpost. Set to graduate this year, Mohammed is something of a pioneer in this part of the world.
Sir, let me ask you a question, sir. How many visas you've canceled so far?
A stand-up comedian. He's hoping to use his degree to help him set up an entertainment events business in Doha.
Now you see people my age, they want to become, filmmakers, make big movies about Qatar, sell those movies, create this new, image that, okay, it's fine. I can be a filmmaker. I can be an actor. It's okay.
Hand in hand with knowledge goes culture. And Doha is investing in the stuff like it was running out. Resources in oil and gas can build an empire, but culture is the way to the world's heart. Or so the idea goes. The Museum of Islamic Art is the cultural icon representing the vision of a knowledge-based economy. It has been joined by the Mataf Museum of Modern Art and the Doha Tribeca Film Festival, which which has become an annual fixture. With her father's national vision behind her, the Emir's daughter, Sheikha Mayasa, has been described as the most influential figure in the global art market. To the critics who say you can't import culture, what do you think?
Well, I think this is a misconception. We're not importing culture. If anything, we're exporting culture. We're providing with the Doha Tribeca Film Festival, we're providing a platform for Arab voices. We're investing in Arab filmmakers. We're investing in local talent. In 4 years, we're opening our national museum, which is all about Qatar identity, heritage, culture, but also looking to the future.
At the Qatar Cultural Village, artists emerge after dark. Local talent supported by government sponsorship.
It's, looking at culture as part of our development strategy. So it will be really the DNA of our nation. And we look forward to the results.
Ultimately, this investment in culture, education and research, it amounts to an investment in people. And that's seen as the key to Doha's sustainable growth, completing the picture of the Emir's vision. I always try to avoid ending future cities with the cliche, time will tell. Here in Doha, I have no choice. So much money is being spent on infrastructure, and the pace of change is so rapid. When we ask the question, will they realize their dreams? Frankly, you know the answer.
Future Cities, in association with Solidaire.
CNN Go, the mobile app that takes you where you want to go. Available for iPhone, Android and Nokia.
On World Business Today, we bring you your business world from Hong Kong
to London
and New York, because what's happening today
will affect all of our futures tomorrow.
World Business Today, weekdays only on CNN. When you're on the move, you need to stay informed. With the CNN app for Nokia, you'll never miss a story. Read, share, submit your story. Anytime, anywhere.